The historic American Legion Dunbar Post in Syracuse's Westcott neighborhood has long been in need of repairs. Tonight, the post, which was one of the first in America to welcome black veterans, is in a struggle to stay open. CBS 5's Brandon Roth is on your side tonight.
It's been almost a year since we first told you about the Dunbar American Legion Post 1642 and the rapidly deteriorating condition of the post headquarters building. Since then, there has been some renovations, but much more still needs to be done. And if they can't come up with the money for the needed repairs, members at this historic post fear they'll be forced to close their doors for good.
Money's always a problem. Money's always an issue.
Years after leaving the jungles of Vietnam, where he was wounded in an ambush and earned a Purple Heart, Herb Dunmore, commander of the Dunbar American Legion Post 1642, finds himself once again facing tough odds. This time, the battle is to save the Dunbar Post's historic 125-year-old headquarters, which is badly in need of repairs.
It's going to cost about $90,000 at least to complete our project, to complete the building.
How much money do you have?
Right now, zero.
There has been some progress. A GoFundMe page, CNY Central, started last year to help the post. Has raised more than $10,000. Money Dunmore says has helped pay for new floors, new doors, and a new lounge.
We've got a long way to go, but we've done tremendous things. This place has not been renovated for over 50 some odd years, and it was needed.
Despite the renovations inside the post, Dunbar says much more still needs to be done to the outside of the building, which is rapidly deteriorating.
We still have a lot more things to do. We have to take care of the outside as far as the roof is concerned, the siding, as well as the windows.
Dunmore says replacing the roof alone in this historic Westcott district is going to cost more than $20,000. And without any funds left, he worries that this American Legion Post, which was one of the first to welcome African American veterans, may soon be forced to close its doors for good.
If we have leaks in the building, then the building's going to shut down because we can't operate. And we can't operate, then we can't pay our bills. We can't pay our bills, might as well shut down.
Another challenge facing the Dunbar American Legion Post is its location. The building is in a historic district, and that means repairs are much more expensive. Dunmore is concerned if they're not able to come up with the needed funds, the post will no longer be able to support the veterans that they serve.
We begin tonight with breaking news. 2 Syracuse police officers are resigning from the Syracuse Police Department, both of which were on paid leave after 2 different incidents. Good evening, everyone. I'm Samantha Croston.
And I'm Laura Lagarde. Officer Milton Sestache is accused of interfering with his sister's DWI case on John Glenn Boulevard. Officer Ahmaud Bradley is accused in an accidental gun discharge at his Clay apartment, which went into a neighboring apartment. Moments after our team learned of the 2 officers' resignations, we pushed for more answers on why this was the route taken. Mary Keeler is live tonight for us after talking with the people involved in making these decisions. Mary, what did you find?
Yeah, the main question we're asking tonight of the Syracuse Police Chief, the Syracuse Police Union President, and the District Attorney, was it the right course of action to accept the resignation of these 2 officers instead of those possible criminal charges they could have faced? We know that in a release just a couple of hours ago, it was a joint one between Syracuse Police Chief Joe Cecil and District Attorney Bill Fitzpatrick. They expressed the feeling that decertification of both of these officers along with their resignations without criminal charges makes the most sense here. Chief Cecil says the State Department of Criminal Justice Services will have their names on a list, preventing them from preventing them from ever being a police officer in New York State. He tells me the 2 officers, each for different reasons, used poor judgment and tarnished the badge. But the chief says this outcome is actually keeping them from getting their jobs back.
Either one of those officers, I believe, had any type of discipline in their history prior to this. If you got a sympathetic arbitrator, and they would go to an arbitrator if you terminated them, and if a sympathetic arbitrator saw that there were no discipline up to this, that you went from 0 discipline to termination, they could very likely get their jobs back.
Anything you want to tell people, I guess, who might think
well, all they had to do was resign to get out of those other charges.
Well, resignation is a very serious decision, right? So these officers now have permanently lost their employment here at the Syracuse Police Department. As I'm sure you're aware, they will be decertified in New York State, so they will no longer be able to be police officers in this state. So that's a very serious decision that they had to make.
People in the community might wonder when they see point blank that there were 2 resignations,
Right.
not terminations, no criminal charges, and wonder, are these 2 officers soon to be not police officers? Have they been getting some sort of treatment, preferential treatment?
Sure, and I think that's a fair question, and the answer is no.
Attorney and Syracuse Police Chief Cecil both reiterating to the community tonight that those officers and none of their other officers on this department force are above the law.
The bigger, better bottle bill means a bigger bill at the checkout line, but also bigger returns. Senator Rachel May announced the bill, which would include increasing the deposit to 10 cents instead of 5, and she says the extra revenue would go towards something bigger. Our Dale Ostrander joins us live in Syracuse tonight. Dale, what did you find?
Well, Laura, it isn't just your regular cans that are getting an increase in deposit worth. It could be liquor bottles and wine bottles as well. But for people who don't recycle, this could seem just like a price increase on their favorite drinks.
Because it's 10 cents. Like, seriously? Who's not going to bring back a bottle for 10 cents?
Senator Rachel May of Onondaga and Cayuga counties has proposed an enhanced version of the current bottle bill.
5 cents in 1983 is not, it doesn't, go as far in 2023. So we really need to update it for the 21st century.
The increase in revenue would be an estimated $170 to $350 million for the New York State Environmental Protection Fund, which May says will be reinvested into the environment.
Water protection, which is really important around here, green infrastructure, tree planting, a lot of things like that make communities more livable and reduces the heat island effects that we get in our cities.
If you bring back your cans, it would feel nice getting double the value you're used to. But for people who don't recycle, this bill could seem like nothing but bad news and a bigger bill in the checkout line.
But you're right, a lot of people don't return their bottles, and so for those people, it would look like an increase. And that's a reason why some retailers and some of the bottling facilities are concerned about this bill.
However, the recycling business say this is a welcome change, and they hope it leads to others.
I'm hoping to see if the bill does pass, the handling fees go up, minimum wages went up. We are still at the same. So it's hard to pay anybody if our fees are not going up. I think it's absolutely amazing. Being at 10 cents, more customers will come in the door. We'll have cleaner roads, the lake will be clean. I think it's great.
The bill has to pass through the Environmental Conservation Committee first and then go through the legislature. Senator May says she's willing to work with anyone she has to get this bill done.